Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Random Fandom. I'm your host, RavenWood, and Merry Christmas to everyone watching, or if nobody's watching. um, yeah, Merry Christmas, and like I said, I'll be continuing the Artificer uh, just for an hour, just for a momentary hour. Oh, I also want to show you something. I keep forgetting to show y'all this. I know it's. I wanted to do this during the Halloween and like show it to y'all Halloween, but this is my take on Slender Man, and I just decided to go a little bit creative here with the tendrils and just use only three colors and whatnot. But yeah, here's the Slender Man, and I'm working on different one, not as we speak, but like working on a different one. Oh yeah, but I wanted to share that with y'all, and I keep forgetting to share it with y'all, and so now hey, I didn't forget. I remembered, even though it was like right behind me. So yeah, there's that. I finally showed it to y'all. Yay! And uh, today's not uh, today's not the day to share y'all what I got for Christmas or whatnot. I feel like I should share. I feel like I should do that more on Christmas Eve, um, because once like everyone's got like their things situated, there's also the Christmas money to spend on. So like I want to wait until like all that is like all sold out, like um, and whatnot, just to get just for people to use their Christmas money and whatnot. And so me and Dominic will probably do a live stream showing off what we got for Christmas. Uh, this is not much, but like it's still something. So um, something is better than nothing, as they say, and also as they say, be grateful for what you're given. And took me a second to say that. And but I actually enjoyed more so giving than receiving, and it's just to see the smiles on my family's faces when I give them like gifts and whatnot. Ah, it's just great. And that's just something that one of the things about being an adult is being able to do that, to being able to save money and live better at Walmart. Um, to be able to save money so that I could spend gifts on my family. Who knew that I have this power now? you know, back when I was a kid, I have to wait to receive gifts, and I had no money to buy other people's gifts or whatever. I don't know. Not even allowances. I'll cover that up. Maybe allowances. I don't know. But even with allowances, you can only buy like so much. You only buy so little. But like when you're adult, you can actually now like, oh, I have a job. I can now save money to buy presents and whatnot. Now I also live with my folks, so that's also a bonus, and that helps out. Um. So yeah, a Merry Christmas to everyone. And this is my way of like just spending time here. Um, I did say I don't know. I did say that I don't know if I would do a live stream on Christmas, but that's only because I did not know if there would be things happening or whatever. But hey, so far nothing is happening at the moment, and I'll take advantage of the time that I have with you all guys. Um, And so here I will continue by reading the Artificer. Now, the Artificer. Now, I'm only going to try to spend time, just about an hour, and to a drink, but I will read. Studying now. According to his monarch, Kraft's new suit could fly. What he got more what he got were more along the lines of an exaggerated hopes. Leaving Tomaloda through the south gate, he waited until he was out of sight before giving the thrusters a true run for their money. And they did work. He just had no idea how to position his body when they were active. So instead of cruising to Merson like some kind of comic book superhero in an hour, he made it there in just under 2 hours, while looking absolutely ridiculous along the way. More than once, his league diminishing jumps ended with him frightening travelers walking the roads. Not what he intended, but if it meant by the end of things he would be familiar enough with the jets to actually fly, he'd take it. He arrived at Merson at the break of dusk, and sadly about 10 minutes too late to stop the incursion outright. A company of a company of royal guardsmen was already flooding the streets, a slew of broken carts and barrels in their wake. A cursory scan from his suit told him it was simple provisions and equipment, nothing belonging to the ferries heading to Tomaloda, but it certainly leave an impression if the whole town ended up ransacked. The wall around the town, though made of sturdy stone, was only a single story and was mostly there to ward away wild animals. It lacked any actual gates, sporting open air archers that thankfully stymied the guards' charge into town by tightening their legroom. But it did little else to help. Most of the guard had found themselves bloating the 30-foot expanse that divided the wall from the tree line, forced to enter the town three abreast at best. Not helping things were the warehouses and their riders cutting through the mass of bodies like sharks through water, making it difficult for the men to coordinate smoothly. By all observation, this was a lax endeavor that expected little, if any, resistance, and that gave Kraft an edge. Counting his luck that the bulk of the royal guard forces hadn't seeped into the alleys and thoroughfares, he chose to land, announcing his presence by letting his boots hit the ground a little harder than was probably recommended. He ignored the jellified wobble running up through his knees, semicolon, painful as it was. A show of force in presentation sometimes demanded a sacrifice. Presentation! Guardsmen! Kraft started, projecting his voice through the suit's speaker system. Lay down your arms and surrender. You're not welcome here. He lifted his rifle and took aim at the most forward horseman at the unit, keeping a wary eye split on the other 5 milling outside the town's perimeter. While most of the foot soldiers could double as archers, he had little to fear from arrows or swords. A well-placed charge and lance, however, the semicolon would have worked behind, not behind, The semicolon would have worked before. However, just saying. A well placed, but however, not certain about this sentence particularly. A well placed charge and lance, however, posed a far more serious threat. And then an even more serious threat reared its ugly head, or his post speckled head. Mr. Kraft, the slurred voice arched through the air, making Kraft's hair stand on end. Oh, yeah, it's Arts. Arts clopped forward on his horse. The navy blue of his left cheek pocked and left cheek pocked and scarred by recent healed wounds. I do not believe we would be sheeing you? We would be sheeing you shoo. Flipping his arm to Arts, Kraft frowned. Flipping his aim to Arts, Kraft frowned. Frankly, I was hoping your last interaction was just that. Our last. Oh, semicolon, our last. You almost killed my mayor, and you are threatening this stupid. I hate this. I understand why he's doing this, but can I at least pretend by I've already been doing it. The snake like accent, right? The snake like accent, right? Because you already described him as a snake, and so in my mind, I already deliberately made him. But this ruins it by adding it, unless you were going to already add it. Unless, then again, then again, he was injured through battle, and so I guess maybe his true colors are slipping out or whatever. I don't know. Whatever. I can read. I can already. No, I meant read. I can already imagine his voice. Don't do it for me. I understand why it's done, but I feel like that's more for like a children's book or something like that. So, just say. And you are threatening the stability of the principality. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. I hate it. I'm trying to read it how I've already visioned it, but now I'm reading it how it's read, and so it ruins it. It just ruins it. The principality. I'm just gonna read it how it's supposed to be. My mind is gonna auto correct it, and so I'm just gonna read it how I already been reading it. So whatever. Howard snarled. Though I am, but now I can't read it because you ruined it. You ruined it. You ruined it. I am trying because now my brain can't autocorrect some of them. It's like, oh no. Help! This is not minus points from Gryffindor, by the way. This is help a thought. It would have been nice if it would have been nice if this was done if this was done already ahead of time for consistency. This is my only problem. I'm already trying to read it though with a snake-like voice, and so when you already try to squeeze it in, like instead of doing it prior, it hurts my mind. I'm trying to read it like I am trying to read it, but like it ruins the reader's imaginative flexibility when Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna, but my mind is also trying to autocorrect it, and it's hurting my brain when I can't autocorrect it or not autocorrect it. Like it's like auto. I'm trying to like just. I don't even know what this word is. Help. Okay, though I am surprised. I guess that's the word. Is surprised. Okay, though I am surprised. Surprised. I don't know. Let me reread the. Okay, maybe okay. The slurred voice arched through the air, making cracks in the air. So slurred. But let me Google it just in case. I know what it means, but I just want to be 100% certain so that maybe I'm the wrong here. So slurred. No, stop it. Wait, what's crap? Oh, okay, no, fuck it. Oh, yeah. The difficulty. Theory. Difficulty controlling the muscles for speech make the words unclear, slow, mumbled, often neurological issues like stroke, brain injury, Parkinson's, MS, or forms of substances like alcohol and drugs. Okay, so yeah, I already knew that was the case. I'm trying. I've already got like, duh, whatever. And you are I am, though I am surprised, the dear mayor survived. I must, I must, I must. This is hurting me. Why did it H? What? What is this? Help! It is not a problem. It's fine. It's probably just me on my end, but my brain is just my brain and my tongue, and I'm just like trying to read it how it's written, but I'm also trying to do the playful voicing, but I'm also for some reason my brain's like, no, that's not how it works. That's not how that's it's not written this way. You have to pronounce it this way, right? And then so I'm like, no, I must be losing my touch. Arwitz, do not taunt him. Riding up alongside the man was Garaku. Okay. His tanned features weathered and wrinkled, almost beyond recognition. Were it not for the same proud Haku colors flying over his shoulder and the deep bass of his voice, deep bass, a bass. Oh, it's Ponton. Okay. Deep. Kraft may not have even recognized. Garaku, I wasn't aware you survived, Kraft said, genuinely pleased to see the knight still breathing. You seemed much more reasonable, but then the snake oil salesman here, semicolon. I was hoping you hadn't been killed. You say that to a man who has lost his leg because of your town, Garg, and you say that to a man who's lost his leg because of your town, Garg, grumbled. If you were the conductor of Tombaloda's defenses like all its claims, I admire your skill, but I cannot abide your interference in matters of the crown, nor the fact you openly attacked my men. Only after your taskmaster there cut down the mayor in cold blood. That's a fair point. And you know what, Garq? I'll give him a benefit of a doubt. I actually hope he does not die here. I hope that like he's technically speaking, he's the justice of the system that he works for, right? And so he's only doing what is being told. He probably thinks that craft is a threat, right? Arwitz is evil, no doubt in my mind. Only after your taskmaster cut down the mayor in cold blood. He washed to find the orders of the prince. I hate that. I'm trying. I'm struggling. The hell. Oh, it's spat. Like that gave you a goddamn right to attack him. Gentlemen, please, Garku yelled. Mr. Croft. I want to say it in the Aramel voice, but I can't. It's Garku. It's the other voice. Mr. Croft, you consider me reasonable. I implore that same reasonability from you. Colon. Hey, it's a rare colon. Yay. If you can, call off this meaningless rebellion. It does not end well for you unless you do. Prince Vyson is set upon stopping out such treachery. But if you surrender yourself and your co-conspirators, he will spare the peasantry you misled. I think this guy is actually being controlled by Arowitz, to be fair. So we don't know who this Prince Vyson is. That's something I would put a pin on it. I'll put no, I'm the master of pins. Okay, sorry. I will put a pin on Prince Vyson because I believe, if you don't understand the pin joke, watch bad fan fiction I hear recently. The pins are everywhere. So now it's driving me insane. Anyways, I will put Prince Vyson under a pin, until note, because what if Prince Vyson knows nothing about this? Or what if he's like, the scene from Lord of the Rings where that guy's like whispering into the king's ear, and he's like, you have no power here, and then Gandalf's like, yes, I do. Right? With Prince Vyson is being controlled by Arowitz. So I'll also put another pin in. There's two pins to put a pin on. And with Garku, the third pin, is also being Garku is also being controlled by Arowitz. So let's put 3 pins right there. The peasantry you misled. Kraft tensed his arms, fingers dancing along the automatic grip. Not going to happen. I've come this far, and with garbage like Arwitz doing the dealing. I can't trust the damn thing out of the crown's mouth. How about this, semicolon? Take your men and leave. No one has to die. At this point, I'm just saying semicolon. I'm not going to judge the sentence or whatever. It's technically just supposed to be just a comma. It's how about this, comma, take your men and leave. Because there's no reason to put a semicolon there. I went to rant. This gives me an idea for the epilogue, for when I do the epilogue, the live stream on the epilogue. I've got a clever idea. No one has to die. Garku's, not Garku. I've been pronouncing it as Garku for some reason. Garkuo, Garku, 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 yeah, Garku. I don't know. I just now noticed I was mispronouncing that incorrectly this entire time, and I feel so mad at myself now. So Garku. I want to say Garku, but it's Garku. Whatever. So, Celtic, if you were watching this when it was dead, right, and you would just laugh Or ha ha ha, you're mispronouncing my fake names. Ha ha, been making fun of me? Fine, you win. That's fair. Whatever, Gaku. Yeah. But whatever. You know what? It doesn't matter. It's a fictional character. I mean, like, I want a figurine of Garkyu. I don't care. Just so I remember that I've been mispronouncing his name. There. I will buy a figurine of this guy just to remember how to pronounce this guy's name, right? With and the figurine must also come with a book on how to pronounce these words. Every word, not every word, but every made up name that you have here in the Artificer. There, I will buy that for $1. Just kidding. I will buy it. I'm letting you know. You have an opportunity to make something like this. I don't care if it's like a statue figurine or if it's like, I don't care if it's like a little statue. I mean, a figurine can be anything. It doesn't have to be an action figure, unless you can find a way to produce one of those. I'll buy it regardless. $100, yeah. Or if a plushie, or a book, or something. I don't know. Sticker. I'll buy it. I'll buy it just so I can pronounce these names and words correctly. Not the real words that I've been mispronouncing, just the words that you've written and made up, like Gorkyu or Arwitz or Tomeloda. Just write something, or Terf Nir, Terf and Nir. Named Nir, Terf and Nir. Garkyu's horse turned in place, exposing a prosthetic leg buckled to the Garkyu's man's waist, and a bizarre series of 6 rotating cylinders attached to the mount's saddle. Scratching his memory, Kraft was just able to identify the puckle gun. The puckle gun. Sorry, identify the puckle gun as Garkyu as Garkyu spoke. I am afraid I will disagree. If you will not come peaceably, if you will not come peaceably, he looked at the sombrant beside him. Arwitz! Arwitz held up a hand that began to crackle with electric arcs. Gladly, thunder snapped thrice through the air around Merson. Arwitz drew back his hand. The lightning gone along with 2 of his fingers. The horse beneath him reared back in surprise, throwing him to the ground. Kraft kept his rifle raised, quickly retraining it over Garkyu. He was met with Garkyu raising his own gun and firing. As slow as the fire rate might have been from a gun like that, bullets were still bullets. In fact, older guns tended to have larger calibers that would make short work of his armor. Kraft kicked his legs into overdrive. Gotta go through now. Watch me overdrive. Using the jets to skip 20 yards in a heartbeat. Cursing himself for not predicting the Royal Guard would start employing firearms, which I knew I had a pin in my brain. I may have not have said this, but I had a thought that the guns would come to bite him, I guess. There, that's much better. Okay. Come to bite him. started employing firearms. Kraft slammed his stroller into the grass, rolling to a stop just behind a tree. Back against the bark, he twisted out from the cover and fired off a volley of 5 shots into the throng of soldiers. 2 went down screaming, "Ah! Ah!" Though he was immediately met by a small wave of arrows and another shot from Garku. Kraft jumped. Woo! Wee! Sorry, I don't know why I did the little hand puppet like jump. Wee! For some reason, anyways, forget me. Kraft jumped, angling himself towards Merson and barely letting himself on the lip of the town's wall. He fired a spray into the guard's ranks, emptying the remaining 48 rounds of his drum magazine. Before they could retaliate. Sorry, drum magazine. Before they could retaliate, he dipped behind the wall and landed on the cobblestone path. Throwing the rifle on his back, he pulled out his trench gun. Briefly, he played with the idea of reloading the rifle, but he didn't want to be caught off guard by the puckle gun. What is a puckle gun? I'm going to look it up. I'm just imagining a gun that looks rather pucked. Puck. Puckle gun. Puck. A puckle gun. Images. Oh! Dear Lord! He's fucked. Well, potentially. I don't know how he has this at the ready, but I'm assuming this puckle gun, because of the fact that it's big. I don't know how he's doing this. It requires a tripod of some sort. So, but I'm guessing though he has it instead of the tripod. He has it. He somehow has it stationed on top of his horse or stationed to a side, or maybe a smaller variant of the puckle gun. I'm not certain. Or is it like a. Or does he just have a way to fire it? Like by his side or something? I'm not certain how this works. Or how in the book, I mean, how it works when described in the book. Interesting gun. I'll show you. I'm assuming that he has it like somehow like attached to the side of his waist, and he's arching it this way instead of like arching it up and down. Yeah, here, let me show you what it looks like. That's a puckle gun. I wish the focus would be a lot better on my camera, but yeah, that's a puckle gun. So somehow he has this puckle gun equipped. Let me reread that paragraph so I can probably get like a mental note of it. Well, I can't seem to find the puckle gun. Well, whatever. Well, anyways, somehow This man has a puckle gun. A smattering of soldiers rounded by the corner just in time for him to levy the shotgun sights over their chests. Three shotgun shells later, and the men were all but pasted in their armor. Their shields, nothing but Swiss cheese. That'd be so funny if it like he shoots and then like the shield actually becomes Swiss cheese. Like, my goodness, it's Swiss cheese. They're useless now. Well, actually, we can eat it. Oh, oh, wow, this is actually good Swiss cheese. Mm. Swiss cheese shield, anyone? Rounding the corner himself, he unloaded the last 7 shells into the mass of soldiers trying to pile through the wall's gate. Magazine empty, he shelved the trench gun next to his rifle and grabbed the first soldier to get close enough by a limb. Well, I mean, yeah, you're grabbing him up probably by the limb and then being close enough to him by the limb. So never mind. So yeah, with the ease of swinging a bat, he slammed the man into his comrades, bowling one man over, crushing another, and ripping the grad man's arm off in one smooth motion. Okay. Kraft brought the limb down on another soldier's head, shattering the humerus, denting the man's helmet, fracturing his skull. Well, this has gone real violent real quickly. Merry Christmas. This was not planned. I did not know that it'd be this violent. Another crack rang out, and Kraft felt his head yanked backwards, hands flying to his helmet. He found a jagged ravine of metal where a steel ball cut into it. Cursing, Kraft looked up to meet the smoking barrel of Garquio's puckle gun. The knight pushing the next rotary segment into place. Okay, so it's probably stationary. Probably. I'm not certain. I'm reading this rather quickly. I'm trying to make sense of it all. Kraft reflexively grabbed the nearest living soldier and hoisted him between himself and Garquio, just in time for the man to take the next shot for him. As the man's breastplate split apart, Kraft reared back and chucked him over the heads of the scrambling guard, flinging him right into Garquio's horse. The equine recoiled, clopping out of sight from the narrow town gate and letting Kraft breathe easy, if only for a second. With Garquio out of the way, he looked to the throng of the charging soldiers and ignited his 4 plasma torches, cranking them up to 1.5 feet in length. Shouting at the top of his lungs, "Ah!" He braced against the horde, shoving 2 of his torches to the closest man's torso. They melted the chainmail like butter, and the man inside ignited only a moment later, sending a burst of flame from the visor's grill. Oh dear heavens. The next man was quick to follow. The reek of burning skin permeated the air. Oh, okay. Oh, Merry Christmas to all, and all a good night. I did not think this through. Well, I'm here now. Gonna embrace my silliness. After the next three fell, their bodies scorched into fused amalgamations. Not amalgamations. Amalgams of flesh and armor. The river of troops drained to a trickle. Before him were 20 men, with almost 100 further out the gate, all hesitated to come close to him, their feet rocking in sh- their feet rocking and unsure whether to charge or run. A spearman took the lead, rushing forward when Kraft was looking away, but the blow he landed with land, but the blow he landed with the poleman's tip was for naught. The spear glanced off Kraft's shoulder and gave him the prime opportunity to not only trisect the man's weapon, but, but also the man himself. Yay! As the liquefied remains spluttered to the cobble, Kraft glared at the remaining company of soldiers. Where goes the gusto of the Royal Guard and all that pride and loyalty gone to waste on fools? Capitalizing on the hesitation, he pulled the rifle off his back and slipped his fingers into a pouch. Another drum of ammo pulled free and locked in place. Kraft leveled it on the trembling men. With a roll of his neck, the volume of the suit's speakers was pushed into the max. One more chance! Retreat! Surrender or die! I don't care what you choose, but you all have 10 seconds. 1, 2, 10! I know he had pulled out a rifle, but it'd be funny if he had pulled out a Tommy gun instead. Hey, at least there's at least a Christmas reference that I can technically bestow upon ye. Bestow upon. No, whatever. 1, 2, 10. Okay, you have 10. You all have 10 seconds. Starting at 1, he counted, and starting at 1. Soldiers began to drop their weapons. Not all of them, but some 40 men filed out of the ranks, backing away towards the forest or otherwise slinking into the crowd to get there. Several men shared looks with each other. One or two tried to stop their fleeing comrades, only to be shoved aside like pebble against the tide. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. As 10 passed his lips, the few soldiers still trickling out of the battlefield broke into a sprint for escape. 10! Garcuo's horse trotted just outside the gate. Even the horse was afraid. The horse understood numbers. I had just showered, so my hair's a little It's very itchy on this hat, so ouch. Yeah, bad idea, by the way. Trotted just outside the gate, the man's eyes following the retreating soldiers. Raising the puckle gun to match Kraft's rifle, he scoffed. There, they have chosen treason. Your mercy will have sent them to their graves. I can imagine after this, his voice has not drastically changed, but like has changed because of like being like just completely just what do you call it? Not his voice have degraded, but like I feel like his voice would be like a bit graded, I guess. Like maybe he's a bit drained or whatever from this fight or whatever, and so he's more with harsh tones. He's just being just gritted. War isn't the place for reasonable men. I'll give them the choice that I don't have any day of the week. We gave you a choice, Garcu growled. Kraft aimed his rifle at Garcu's horse. The words of an unreasonable man, he fired. Chaos erupted as Garcu's horse collapsed and the remaining soldiers charged. Time lost meaning as the bullets tore through chainmail and plate alike, only stopping as the magazine ran dry and he ran into the fray. But even with its meaning lost to him, time still clawed by. Kraft began to make mistakes, ignoring openings that he should have taken, missing strikes he should have landed. For all the technology at his disposal, his body was still flesh and bone, and his years as sedentary crafter were no match to the seasoned soldiers. Yet here we are. Missing another swing at Garcu, Kraft could hear his muscles screaming. He whittled them down to about 10 men. Well, more like 9, considering the 10th was only a token participant with his missing hand. I mean, yeah, I can be a little merciful towards the one who can't flee. Like, come on. It's like, oh, can't flee. Yeah, I'll leave it alone. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'll go away. I don't know if the commander is good or not at this point. It could. I'm still holding out that maybe there might be some like maybe he's just confused because of Arwitz, which is okay. It's reasonable. He can atone from this. He can. If he survives this, let's find out. He pulled back, eager to catch his breath, and that was where he made his mistake. Arcane words threaded into his ears from the right, his eyes so locked on the remaining guard that he'd completely forgotten to scan for other threats. Just as he was turning to face the threat, his muscles seized and his fingers curled, locking him completely in place, the jets on his plasma blade still roaring. Finally, the damned thing worked. Arwitz spat. He cradled a crudely bandaged hand, the stumps where his fingers had been severely already dried, most likely thanks to magic. The snake slithered up to Kraft, and around the burning torches, smiling a mix of cocky, condescending, and cruel. Oh, the 3 C's. Resting his good hand on Kraft's helmet, he let loose an amused titter. Miss Dendash did well to warn you against Mitish. I don't know if that was purposely misspelled or whatnot, but I'm going to say to warn you against a mitish of the mind, but the body itself, it should not have been ignored. Kraft wanted to retort, wanted to bite at the man's twiggy nose, twiggy nose through his helmet's visor, but not a single nerve would budge, leaving him completely powerless. Commander Gakuo, Owens called over his shoulder. You can come closer. I have rendered him quite helpless. Stepping aside, he waved the troop commander over, giving a polite, borderline mocking bow. I present to you Kraft, semicolon, leader of our renegadish and the killer of your men. Aware that I am of the precious order to bring him in alive or dead. I think summary execution would be more than justifiable. Gakuo sighed as he strode aside the smug sombrant, rolling the blade in his hand. His eyes fell to the corpses pocketing the field outside of pocketing outside of the field of town, the piles flowing through the gate and into the streets. As much as agreeing distastes me, the slaughter of my men cannot be repaired, and he has proven a danger beyond measure. Drawing his sword tip, Drawing his sword's tip across Kraft's breastplate, GarQ, GarQ searched for a chink in the armor. Uh-oh. Soon enough, he found one, where the suit was sealed together. Resting the blade there, he looked to Arwitz. Would you be able to open this infernal contraption for me? Arwitz looked to his hands, and Kraft had to emit an ounce of satisfaction watching him grimace over the missing digits. One thing he knew about magic was that it was temperamental for those that couldn't forego somatic components. So a few absent figures, yeah. I mean, yeah. So a few absent fingers could completely shatter even the most advanced casters. Yeah, okay, I was making sure I read that correctly. Unfortunately for Kraft, Arwitz was incredibly skilled in the arcane arts. Yes, just a moment. Taking his time, slow and steady, he wins the race. Sorry. Taking his time, slow and steady, the posh sorcerer guided his hands through the air, whispering words under his breath that sounded like utter gibberish. The minute the last words left his mouth, there was a click, a pop, and a hiss as the breastplate jumped loose. Without hesitation, GarQ ran the blade into the sea. And that is where the story ends. Just kidding. Into the sea. Fire exploded through Kraft's chest as the blade carved into his torso, the narrow steel wedging itself cleanly into his rib cage. Ouch! For all the rage I have against you, craftsman, GarQ breathed, pushing even harder on his hilt. I respect your principles. Know that I think you die with your honor intact, and I hope to meet you again one day beyond the veil. The fire. Oh, okay. So the religious heaven. The fire in his chest began to spill out along the blade, pulling along his waist and overflowing to his legs. Oh no. And the ground. Even paralyzed, his body gave one last shudder. The inferno shoot up from his lungs into his throat, crackling copper spit coating the back of his teeth. Oh no! This is bad! This is very bad! He began to regain feeling in his fingers just as he was going numb everywhere else as he scrambled at the sword in his side. He began to dream. Tombalota, Eromal, Doras, Nirth, and Sofiri, or Doras, Nirth, and Sofiri, and Tirith. Rhine. Eyes crimson as the blood he was spilling haunted that dream as it all faded to blackness. Well, that is at the pausing point, and it's almost about an hour. I could go on, but we have one more live stream, which will be tomorrow. No, maybe depending on how much time it takes. Yeah, we have. We can go over. Yeah. Sorry. It looks like. Um. Hmm. There's. I'm reading. I'm kind of sort of glancing ahead. I just noticed a typo. Whatnot. But okay. So maybe next live stream will be the last live stream because of how short. Because there's like some here and there, but it looks like there's enough pauses here and there to like take a break. And what? Um. What I will do now again, I could be an hour and 30 for this live stream, but I only have an hour to myself here for Christmas Day. Um, and I only intended to spend 1 hour. That was my intention throughout each day was to only spend like an hour per day so that I can catch up. Um, but what I will do is at least read the first paragraph and then tomorrow, which tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow, Friday, it looks like my connection is probably terrible because I'm looks like I'm hitching. Tomorrow, which is Friday, I will continue reading. How unfortunate. Craft linked. This felt familiar in a bad way. A very bad way. He was still in Mersin, but everything was off like the shadows didn't quite match the sun, and the air was too humid for the chill that hung in the behind filed out around filed or yeah, ghostly outlines filed out around the gate, locked in some kind of perpetual march leading out the walls and into the forest. Okay, so this is God. Maybe not God, but this is the God that revived him in the beginning of the book, the trickster God. Q. I call him Q, but anyways. So yeah, it looks like I'm hitching or pitching or whatever at the right here, this part of the live stream. So I'm gonna end it there. Well, anyways, Merry Christmas. See you soon tomorrow. Sorry, stretching a bit. Yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. And please leave likes, subscribe, and all the other jazz. Hit the bell notification. Keep forgetting about that one. Comment down below what you like about this, and comment down below what you don't like about this. Blah 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 blah. Comment down below what you like to see in the future. What would you like me to read in the future? I'm almost done with this book. Chapter 5 is the last chapter, and I'm actually hoping that by the looks of it, it looks like the final chapter will will end this year with the final chapter. So yeah. Anyways, stay tuned for that, and see you all soon. Like always, bye bye, and Merry Christmas to you. My horrible singing. Oh, Merry Christmas to you.